Welcome, this is Ruth, and today I've got some things from Simon Hurley's Birthday Bash collection for Spellbinders. I've got 3 beautiful 3D embossing folders, and I've also got a lovely stamp set. Now there's a few other different things in this collection as well, and I'll link down below in the description of this video to show you where to find those as well. Now the die set is really beautiful. I've just checked here and these dies actually fit on top of this embossing folder as well, so we'll maybe look into that. This is called the Mylar Balloons, and each shape here, the circle, the star and the heart, have got an outside cutting edge and an inside one as well, so that looks like great fun. And then we've got the strings and the long and the short strings as well to go with that. The embossing folders are all 3D, and this one is called Party Balloons, and I hope you can see that there, but it does look really lovely. This one is called Plaster, and it has a really beautiful sort of stucco plaster effect look off it there. Even if you can't see them too well now, you will see them in a moment or two because I'm going to emboss with them. This one is called Flourish, and I think this one here particularly goes really well, obviously with the dies there. These two could be used with those dies, but those have so many other uses as well. So don't forget that there's many other uses as well as just with the items that they're actually produced with. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, that's totally free. Don't forget to do that and hit the notification bell, and then you'll see lots more videos as they come up. My affiliate links for everything I use will be down below in the description of the video as well. So that doesn't cost you anything extra either. It gives me a little commission, but doesn't cost you anything. And if you're enjoying it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment. More of that later. I'm just going to start die cutting and I'll be right back. I absolutely love the look of that big embossing folder, and there's lots and lots of different ways you could use that. You could put ink over this area and then that would give you a sort of raised up part with the ink on it. You could put ink on here and that would give you a totally different effect. And then I have put a piece of white card into it. I actually sprayed it, lightly misted it with water first of all, just so that the card wouldn't crack. And there's what it looks like up close and personal, and there's what it's like on the other side. So both of those are really beautiful, the emboss and the deboss. Now you could add ink to that, or you could add all sorts of alcohol ink, even ink on a blender or whatever to add the colour. Something about it just appealed to me that I would really like to die cut these and then emboss them in the folder. A couple of them might be just a little fiddly, but I'm definitely going to do it because it's not a lot of work. And I just thought I picked out these colours, so I've got sort of satiny effects and in sort of different shades of purple. So I'm just going to set this one down like that, set this one over the top like that, and then I can just mark around that with a pencil and cut that part off this, and then it'll just fit perfectly in there. Most of them actually just fit straight on, just like that and like that. And then there's a couple of them here. I'm going to have to do exactly the same thing as this. It's really easy. And then I'm going to tape them into my embossing folder, and we'll go from there. You could either just hand cut that or even just set the die on top of it. It's so easy just to do it straight off. I'm just going to hand cut it. Actually quite fun. It was very easy to do. I just drew around it and then cut just inside the line a wee bit so that they all fitted together, and as you can see I have them all taped down. So you'll see that that's actually on the part of the embossing folder. I've taped them to the front side, and then turn it over and just check that they're all aligned properly. But you can cut those off if you like right now, but I'm going to leave that until I put it through my die cutting machine, and then I'll come back and see what they all look like. Now I can just take them all out of my little embossing folder and glue them directly onto the embossed card here. So this is good fun. You can put this piece on and then just cut off at the end of it. That probably would have been easier if I just left them inside the embossing folder, but look at that. Oh, look. Yeah, very nice. There's how it looks then whenever all those pieces are glued on, and all I need to do now is trim all those little edges off, and I might just trim this down a little bit as well. But I've kept the balloons all, the sort of the stars all the one colour and the hearts all the one colour. You could definitely add lots of different colours in there and just go totally overboard with that. I'm going to make the card base up first of all, and then I'll see what size I want to cut that off to. I just trimmed all the edges off those and then backed it onto some matching card, the same as I'd used on the hearts here, and put it onto a big card here. So this is actually an A4 sheet folded in two, and that just fitted perfectly onto that. Then I've stamped the happy birthday out, and that's actually from BB's Cats and Pugs die set, and the little banner that it's on, so I've actually doubled it up so you can see I've cut a little piece twice and just glued it on, sort of coming out to the edges there, and that's from the Cheerful Kittens die set. Now if you don't want to do all the cutting on there and sort of trim around these edges to overlap those, you can actually just cut these out and then glue these ones on top with a 3D foam pads just to give a little bit of dimension. It would set them up above those ones, and it would also save you doing that die cutting. So that's another way of making a similar card to this as well. I thought I'd have a little play with the embossing folders, and look at that. That's the Flourish one from the same set from Simon Hurley's collection, and I've used that on some iridescent mirror card. Look at that. I've actually already cut it up into bits because I had a little idea, and I'm going to use one of the other panels, but I've also got a couple of pieces that I can use on a different card as well. And I've tried this one out. This is absolutely gorgeous on both sides, and it's called plaster, but it kind of reminds me of frosting from a cake, so it would be absolutely spectacular on a cake card as well. So at the moment I'm just going to set that one aside and keep that for something later, but I really love this background. So I have taken two dies from the nested postage labels and tag die set, and you can see here that I have taped them both together and made myself a little stitched frame, which I have then die cut. And I've also taken a piece of acetate and attached that onto the back with double-sided sticky pads. Now I want this to be a kind of a floating frame for the balloon, so I've cut out the heart-shaped balloon in both pieces, and then I've put it onto a mat and sort of molded it so that it's got quite a bit of dimension to it there. And I've added the two strings onto the bottom of it, and as you can see, I really wanted that dimension to stand up, so I have put a couple of little foam pads in the back of it there just to hold it out as well, because I don't want that going flat again when I put it on my card. Because this is going to go right on here, and you could see that through the back of the acetate when you open the card, I have cut another one of these heart shapes out, and I'm just going to put that right on there. Just check and make sure you've got it aligned properly at the front, that's the most important part, and attach it right on there onto the top of those foam pads. That means that you'll not be able to see those whenever you glue this on here. And I'm going to go ahead now and do the rest of the card. So I've cut out another piece of card which is the same size as this in length, in width, but it's actually a centimetre or just a little bit taller here in the length, and I've scored that and folded it over. That then will become the hinge for the top fold card, and you'll see the floating panel then this way. But before I attach all of that together, I want to cover this, and this is where my beautiful panel of the lovely embossed card is going to go on. So I've got double-sided tape on the back of that. That's the way I prefer to attach those embossed panels, especially if they're mirror card or iridescent card or something like that. So I've cut that just to the same width as the panel here, but slightly smaller just to accommodate where this would fold over, because this is quite thick. So I'm going to line it up with the base of the card here and the sides, and then we'll just go right up to the top there, and you'll see that there's a tiny little bit showing at the top that this will fold over. think I might actually need to trim this off just a little bit to make sure I've got it aligned there too. Now I'm just going to put glue along this little flap here and attach the front to the card, and then I can add the balloon directly onto there. So that will go there, line it up again, top and bottom, and just press it down really well. I was actually going to put it up here, but I think it would look better just down here a little bit, and I probably should have added some extra tape onto that, but I am going to put just a little bit of glue around the outside, and then I'm going to spread that with my finger very, very lightly so that that will hold this onto the acetate, but it won't look like a big lump of glue from the inside. And just press that directly down like that, and you can check on the inside, but it looks really neat there too. Now I'm just going to clip this a little bit here and put glue down there and just pop that straight onto that. I stamped out the congratulations from the same little Cats and Pugs stamp set, and then with the same dies that I used for the last card, I cut the white out in this one and then this one with the same colour of card from the back here. And now that fits right across there, so I don't need to worry about glue being visible from the other side. All I need to do is put glue on the edges here, and that will just go directly, use this one, that will just go directly out at the edges and won't be visible at all from the inside of the card. You can see just like that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching along while I made those and got some ideas in the way as well, because there's lots of different ways you could use these. As I said, lots of dimension and colour, foam pads and all of that, and change the colours and change the sentiments, and you've got lots and lots of different things that you could do. So I think even if you made these balloons in sort of pink or blue or colours like that, maybe even pale green or yellow or something, you could have those for celebrations for a baby, or you could have them in white and gold and it would be celebrations for a wedding. There's loads and loads of ways of using that, but I love that embossing folder on there with the balloons on top because it has embossed all these little strings on there. I hope that's visible on the camera there, but it's really, really lovely in real life. And this one is so cute because it's smaller and you've got that lovely embossing pattern behind there on that iridescent card and the floating panel on the front. Thanks very, very much for watching. Have a little look. My affiliate links for the set, for the full collection, will be down below this video in the description. And that doesn't cost you anything extra if you use those links, but it does give me a little commission. So thank you very, very much for that. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do that and hit the notification bell. And if you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. And I'd love to hear a little comment from you as well. Until next time, happy crafting. Thanks very much. Bye bye.